Every month, 1 in 10 girls in sub-Saharan Africa miss school during their period. 65% of women and girls are unable to afford menstrual products like sanitary pads. These estimates from a 2022 report drafted by the United Nations were highlighted by Oliankar Tanchu, co-founder of the non-governmental organization No Limit International, who launched a 2-week sensitization campaign in Cameroon. The campaign aimed at officially presenting the project dubbed Empower Her Flow targeted some public and private high schools, a Muslim Quranic teaching camp, and a group of young girls of the Citeved neighborhood. The sensitization campaign began on November 8, 2023 at the Collège Père Monti, situated in the Nkolanga neighborhood in the outskirts of Yaoundé. Here, Oliankar Tanchu and her team met with over 200 female students. The co-founder of No Limit International unveiled her project and why it's necessary to educate young girls on menstrual hygiene management.
I decided to do these education talks because a lot of women and young girls don't have access to pads and sanitary products, and I wanted to give them the tools to care for themselves and the tools to know how to care for their menstrual hygiene. So that's why I decided to come to these schools and to talk about menstruation. I created a presentation that I shared in front of these young girls, and I had them ask me questions of what they were confused about, but I also gave a presentation about what is to menstruate and also pregnancy prevention, because those are two important topics here in sub-Saharan Africa that need to be talked about.
The young expert schooled her younger sisters on the various symptoms that occur when a girl sees her period. Oliankar Tanchu went further to explain how the female anatomy works, the different types of sanitary pads that can be used, and the necessity to avoid pregnancy as teenagers. The session was marked by a series of questions from the young female students, and many seized the occasion to thank No Limit International, who has granted them the opportunity to express themselves on such a taboo subject.
First of all, I want to say a great thank you to our new ambassadors, and I hope this kind of attentions will be more in the future. I've learned on how to care for myself during my periods, because personally I don't really care of when I menstruate or how to count, but now I know it is important for me, first of all, to care for myself and for my personal hygiene.
On her part, the principal counselor praised the initiative launched by No Limit International in the school milieu.
We notice that youths nowadays lack a lot of information, and subjects such as what was discussed are most often taboo. These are subjects that most parents don't like to discuss with their children, and later on, we found ourselves with a lot of consequences. So once more, I say thank you to No Limit International for this action.
At the end of the educative talk, a set of sanitary pads was granted to the nurse of Collège Père Monti. After Collège Père Monti in Kolanga, the team of No Limit International went to Lycée d'Abankongwa, some few kilometers to the locality of Mfu in the Mefwana Famba division. In this public high school, it was another great experience. The female students gathered in the computer classroom were all focused on the presentation. For many young girls present at the session, it was an added value to their education. Many confessed they were not aware of how to count their menstrual cycle.
I'm learned that when you are in fecund period, you don't have sexual activity, because you can have pregnancies, and it's not good for your life. because some girl, when you have pregnancies, you don't continue with your education.
According to the co-founder of No Limit International, it was another challenging experience with regard to the numerous questions asked by students. The same exercise was conducted. Kits of sanitary pads were offered to students of this high school. On Thursday, 9th of November 2023, the team of No Limit International this time around met with female students of Lycée de Ligue Sono in the Yaoundé sub-district. Just like in the first session, Miss Olianka Tanchu, before her expose, told her audience why she decided to address issues related to menstrual hygiene management. The students, who in return asked a series of questions, were glad to discuss openly with their august guests on these untold issues which to them were crucial for their well-being.
I think that this initiative is very good because it helps us girls to have a good hygienic health, and we are very, very happy to receive this donate.
Miss Olianka Tanchu, who in her quest to support and upgrade the knowledge of underprivileged communities in her native country, has once more appreciated the discussions with female students of this public high school. To efficiently address menstrual hygiene care throughout the project, Empower Her Flow, Olianka Tanchu and her team reported themselves to the Bankomo Technical High School, situated some kilometers away from the nation's capital, Yaoundé. A handful of female students were equally mobilized in this school, having the particularity to gather young girls and boys who do technical and industrial fields of studies. Before launching the session, the students were quizzed on menstrual hygiene management and later shared some best practices. Co-founder of No Limit International made an in-depth presentation on the subject and then followed the questions and answer sessions, which is always animated by the younger girls who are eager to learn more. To drop up curtains, a symbolic handing over of menstrual hygiene kits took place, just like in the previous sessions. The female students at the end expressed gratitude.
Today I've learned many things about menstruations. I was not knowing that they can wash a sanitary pad and use a menstruation cup. I say thank you for all you people are doing.
The staff of the Bankomo Technical High School also praised the passage of No Limit International on their school campus.
Today particularly, we appreciate the passage of No Limit International in our school. This sensitization was very crucial as the students learned what is menstruation, what is menstrual hygiene, the ovulation period and everything that is necessary on hygiene care and how to avoid diseases. This is really important for our youths who are in a puberty phase.
Ce qui est très important pour nos jeunes parce qu'elles sont en âge de la puberté.
And this stage is very delicate and there is need for people devoted to teach and educate them on such issues for them to avoid infections and early pregnancies. We appreciate this collaboration.
La collaboration puisse continuer dans ce sens-là.
Encouraging female students to fight against period poverty and be more conscious of their role in the future of tomorrow is one of the key messages shared to these students by Olianka.
I was happy to present my project because period poverty is an important issue, and I want to teach everybody, all these girls, how to take care of themselves and be proud of themselves and be confident. So I loved coming here, and I want to encourage these girls to continue with their technical abilities and to continue with their studies because they're the future of tomorrow.
Another challenging moment of this campaign was the meeting with Muslim girls and women of the Quranic school of the Central Mosque in Tinga. With a core knowledge of the difficulties faced by this community, Olyanka paid keen attention to the problems expressed by the girls and women. A conversation in which both parties shared some experience.
Exchanging with them, I learned a lot about how a lot of them weren't doing hygienic practices and they were using other items to take care of their menstrual health. So I'm so lucky to have been able to speak with them and to really talk to them and have this educational conversation about what is right and what you should be doing to take care of your hygiene and to spread menstrual dignity to all girls. So it was a great experience exchanging with them and donating all of them an individual packet to encourage them to continue staying strong and taking care of themselves and their menstrual hygiene.
According to Hajara Amadou, this session was beneficial.
I have learned a lot of things because I was really ignorant. For instance, I didn't know there were reusable sanitary pads, and I also learned that they don't wash the woman's inner part with chemical products.
On Saturday, November 18, 2023, the team of No Limit International braced up the different obstacles and weather to exchange with a group of young girls and women living in an enclaved zone of the Cité Verte neighborhood. It was once again the occasion for the leader of No Limit International to highlight the benefits of her project and empower her flow. She schooled the girls and women on the topic, giving them some tips on menstrual care and the use of menstrual cups for those who cannot afford to buy sanitary pads every month. Another amazing experience as outlined by Ms. Tanchu Olyanka.
I enjoyed speaking to these girls, and being able to donate kits to them was very great, and I love to talk to them and hear what they've learned from the session. And I'm always happy to help my little sisters learn more about menstrual health and how to take care of themselves.
The educative talk was chaired by the representative of the Yaoundé 2 mayor.
The particularity of this event, chaired by the Yaoundé 2 Council, lies on the fact that they thought of the young girl. Young girls currently face a lot of problems, and women in general face issues of menstrual pains. It was good to have targeted this topic and see an interest from the people.
Nadej, a young lady living in the Cité Verte neighborhood, was part of the conversation. She said that thanks to the humanitarian organizations, she is now versed in menstrual hygiene care.
I learned that when using the sanitary pad, you have to use it, you have to change it maybe 4 to 8 hours a day, so that you should not dirty or it should not pass through your dresses, so that people should see. Then I also learned that if you are menstruating, you should not be ashamed of yourself. You should be proud of yourself and show the world that you are the future leader of tomorrow.
Participants in the session were donated kits of sanitary pads. As concerns the project Empower Her Flow, is a program that is meant to empower young girls through menstrual health education and promote menstrual dignity for all girls in sub-Saharan Africa. Let's recall that No Limit International is a young non-governmental organization that engages communities around the world in lifelong best practices aimed at improving health and living conditions, fighting hunger and poverty, providing youth educational and recreational activities, and empowering people to believe in a better society. In a bid to support the United Nations in achieving by 2030 the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, No Limit International has highlighted in the course of its missions some 7 critical SDGs.